Today's question is, how do I find forgiveness? How do I practice forgiveness, both for myself and others? Ooh. This is difficult, forgiveness. And it's also something that I feel like I've made enormous strides in the past year and a half. One of my first affirmations I put down was, I forgive everyone for everything. I forgive everyone for everything. Because I knew how important that was. I knew how fundamental that was for me to leading a prosperous, happy life. I just can't be clung onto other people's wrongdoings or my own. And it's really, really hard because people are going to wrong us and we are going to make mistakes. Having people do things to us that we feel are not deserved, like in the bad direction, and screwing up. Those are just part of being alive. If you don't want these things, don't get born. So yeah, I'll start off with that affirmation. Just a simple affirmation of I forgive everyone for everything. I won't say it works for everybody, but just using that and playing that in the background over and over again till it's just hardwired into my brain. That's super important and has made me come a very far way. Far away, long way, whatever. Awareness of when I am getting caught up in something. Awareness of when I am criticizing somebody or being frustrated with somebody or telling somebody off. I mean, how many times have we replayed an argument in our head and said everything perfectly suddenly and just totally schooled that person to somebody that isn't even in our life anymore a lot of the time? When I find myself getting wrapped up in that because it is so fun and so entertaining in such a masochistic kind of way, I just become aware of it. And the time it takes for me to become aware that I'm doing that, because I still do it all the time, but just like I just realize it almost instantly. And sometimes I still make the choice to indulge, but it's rarer and rarer these days. Just being aware that I'm criticizing people and myself. As soon as I become aware of it, it just becomes so much easier to handle. Another way of practicing forgiveness, and it starts with, recognizing how important forgiveness is. I mean, just recognizing that you should forgive. A lot of people won't even get that far. They'll be like, no, I hate this person and I have full right to hate them, so I'm just going to hate them. And you know what? You're right. You do have full right to hate them. You have a full right to make yourself miserable by hating them. Go for it. Honestly, do whatever you want to do, but you are going to be sad. You cannot hate people and like yourself. You just can't. And we come to the big realization is that everybody is the only way that they can be. Because they are that way. Think of any person, like in your personal life or some famous person that upsets you or whatever, that you can just run your mind into this nasty spiral thinking about how bad they are and what they've done and how incredibly unfair it is. And then just realize they can literally not be any other way right now. You cannot be any other way than you are. And I say that to myself, Joe, you cannot be any other way than you are right now. And you can hope for things to change. You can will for any change that you'd like to see in this world. But you just have to acknowledge that saying things right now shouldn't be this way. I mean, everything is just the way that it's supposed to be right now. unfortunately, in some circumstances. You had a lot of influences in your life that caused you to be the way that you are right now, just as every person, no matter how awful you think they are, has. Everybody is literally only as good as they can be. And then I guess, really especially for myself, it's like I realize how much suffering I am going through for the mistakes that I've made and for how I've hurt people. And it's very, very difficult, but extending that to other people that have hurt me is like, how much suffering are they enduring right now for what they've done? I don't know that I believe that a psychopath truly exists. And granted, I'm not a psychology major, so feel free to tear me apart for saying that. I believe everybody has some part of them that has some self-reflective capacity. And I think it does cause just immense suffering whenever you hurt somebody, even if you stuff that suffering way deep down and it doesn't bite you in the behind today, it will at some point. And that's not ooh, yeah, get back at them for it. It's like, hey, I can just forgive them. And all that suffering will just be rendered null and void by the fact that it's all just gone through this automatic forgiveness machine.